Last week on the Blitz with Ross and Brian Power, I ended and I said my power ratings have Ohio State as a 6.5 point favorite. And that really is right where it opened. But I totally agree with this line move. You can find 4.5s, you can find fives. And if you like the total, right now, if you look at the Wager Talk Live odds screen, wt.buzz/odds, you can find 47.5s, 48s, and 48.5s. So if you're decided on what you like, bet it now, find that best line, and take advantage. Now, with that said, and my power ratings say Ohio State should be a 6.5 point favorite, these teams are number one and number two in yards per play diff when they face winning teams. Ohio State is number two at plus 2.1 yards per play. Indiana right behind them at plus 1.83. But the scheduling spot and the motivation make all the difference in the world. Now, if this game is close, those teams are both going to have a bye. The committee basically said it. They're undefeated, they're close enough, they have a big enough margin. So the only way they're both not going to have a bye for the first round of the playoffs is if there's a blowout. Now, Indiana, they beat Wisconsin 31-7. They went to Purdue in the regular season finale. They win 56-3. So for 2.5 weeks, Indiana has worked on Ohio State prepping for this game. Ohio State, who did they have? Oh, some team last week like Michigan that they had lost 4 straight games to. And when you saw the emotion on Ryan Day's face after that game, you know how hard they practiced and how hard they prepped for that Michigan game. So they started their work on Indiana just the day after they got home, allow them 1 day to celebrate and move on. The other thing is this. Is Ohio State, does it change anything now that they beat Michigan for them to win the Big Ten title or not? No, they proved last year. They lose to Michigan, they win the national championship. Indiana, by the way, I don't know if you know this, Andy. Last time Indiana won a Big Ten championship?
Oh my God. I mean, are we going back to Lee Corso coaching days?
1967 was the last time Indiana won a Big Ten championship. And by the way, since that time, Ohio State has won 27 Big Ten titles since Indiana last won a title.
Come on.
But, you're talking, I looked this up. Indianapolis to Bloomington, 56 miles. These kids are ready. Now, Ohio State's less than 3 hours away, so it's not horrible. But, I talked to a lot of Ohio State fans that have a lot of money and travel to watch this team. Last year, they were saying, we have to save our money to get to the playoffs. I don't think a lot of Ohio State fans are going to make this trip to Indiana and pay that kind of money for these tickets where they're saving it for their playoff rounds. Is that a big deal? Yeah, I think the Hoosiers are going to have at least a 70-30 edge in attendance. And to show you the interest, which in the Hoosier State, the cheapest ACC championship ticket, $49. The cheapest Big 12 championship ticket, $114. The cheapest SEC championship ticket, $268. The cheapest ticket to walk into Lucas Oil Saturday, $589. Folks, that is like a playoff game. That shows the excitement and interest level for those Hoosiers. I do like Indiana plus the points. I also like first half under. The full game, 47.5, 48, 48.5. You are paying a premium playing a 23.5 because of Ohio State's first half defense. They have yet to allow a touchdown. Excuse me, they did allow a touchdown to Penn State. That was a fluky touchdown. That's the only touchdown they allowed in the first half this year. And you look at Indiana, the first couple games, they did get exposed. They pitched a shutout against Purdue in the first half. Last week, they allowed 3 points. They allowed 7, 7, 3, 3. So their last 5 games, they have not allowed over 7 points. Low number, under 23.5. And Andy, I'm okay rooting for your Hoosiers this week because it won't matter 1 iota to Ohio State. All I hope is this. Both teams come out of this game healthy and show the rest of the nation how good these teams really are for the Big Ten in the playoffs.
All right. So here, just take this for what it's worth. We all like the under on this game. We agree with your breakdown 100% that what does this mean to Ohio State in the grand scheme of things? Probably not that much. We see kind of a vanilla game plan, honestly, from both teams. Like IU would love to win the Big Ten championship, but we think both these teams just want to get out of here healthy, and they've got bigger fish to fry. Both these teams could win the whole thing. So we see like a lot of the play clock being run down. A lot of us think IU is going to have to establish the run to have a chance here. And obviously, Ohio State's defense is really, we'd see pretty slow-paced game with not a lot of explosive plays, taking care of the ball, kind of grinding out the clock. So we're with you. We're with you. We think IU's got a puncher's chance, and really the motivation edge goes to IU. We're on the under.
I think it's 100 times more important to the Hoosiers. I mean, for them to have Mendoza in the Heisman Challenge, for them to win the Big Ten title, all of that changes Illinois football for the next decade. The recruitments and all that. Ohio State, if they win or lose this game, it doesn't change their recruitment at all. You win the Big Ten and beat Ohio State, you can flip recruit. So I think the motivation is even more than you think for them. For them, this is a program building win if they can come away with this win, even if they don't win the national championship. And I got one funky stat to tell you, Andy. Yes. I was breaking down Indiana's season games this year. Do you know week 1? Do you remember who they played? They played Old Dominion. Oh, they allowed right. Old Dominion 218 yards rushing and 9.5 yards per carry. The rest of the season, no team rushed over 3.5 yards per carry after they allowed 218 and 9.5 in the opener. Folks, welcome to college football week number 1.
Great breakdown, Ralph. We got to talk about Weekend Warrior. I continue to say there's some things we're always learning in this industry, and we run the Weekend Warrior special one week and it becomes so popular. And now here we are, 13, 14 weekends later, and it's still one of the most popular promotions. So first off, shout out to you guys in the chat, you, the audience, have told us you love it, and we're going to continue doing it. So Ralph, tell us about the Weekend Warrior and what you have up for this weekend.
Well, the Weekend Warrior, $49. You're getting any Saturday college football plays, Sunday NFL plays, and a Monday night play if you have it as well. $49. I did have a poor college football weekend this past week, so if you're with me, I do apologize. I had one of those 5% that you want to smack your head, that it looked like you had an easy winner at halftime, and be careful of what you think happens. But anyway, NFL on a 9-1 run. My NFL teasers 80%. So the Weekend Warrior is the way to go for me. $49. And it truly is a great deal. And I do want to say this. We set a record last week, Andy, for our Thanksgiving 7-day all-access package. So the Weekend Warrior really wasn't prevalent last week. Thank you to all those that were on board for our once-a-year annual special. But the Weekend Warrior, clearly the way to go for my football package this weekend.
It's been a fantastic special. Ralph, you've been great. Congratulations on your big run here in NFL. So grab Ralph Michaels in the Weekend Warrior special.
One more thing, Andy. If someone's going to Vegas or traveling, we now have a 3-day hoops package as well. So you don't need to commit for that whole week. If you are just a weekend player, a lot of people work all day and just want to watch college basketball on the weekend and play. That Weekend Warrior package for college hoops is amazing as well. And it's growing in popularity. Nowhere near the football, but I'm telling you what, it really is getting traction.